So I'm doing this stressful job, and literally out of nowhere, yoga, this mantra, yoga, just comes to mind. Yoga, yoga, it just keeps repeating it. It's because I was like, I gotta relax, I gotta relax, I gotta relax, and then yoga would come behind it. I need to relax, yoga. And it was like literally yoga, yoga, like this just mantra. And I had taken one class like 3 years before that, and it was just a very awkward class. It wasn't a great experience. So I'm doing really well in the mortgage business, and I move into this like just really nice neighborhood, and I felt like I was living, this great life. And then things started to slowly collapse. I lived as if life was never going to end that way. And then the market started to change. And within 3 to 6 months, I literally lost everything. They had contacted me and they're like, this is serious, you need to pay this money or whatever it is, or we're gonna have to foreclose on your house. It was right around the time that I got 6 really big loans, and they were gonna save the day. They were gonna like get me back on track. They were gonna at least hold me over for another 6 months. It was just a great situation. Right before we were about to close on the loans, they completely changed the state licensing for us, where we couldn't basically do the loans anymore. And I knew I had lost everything at that point. I didn't tell anybody, so I was embarrassed. But I do remember when I left the house, I left a note and I said, I never owned this house owned me. Basically that professional side didn't work out, that mortgage business side didn't work out, that it was like, all right, well, let's actually do something that matters. Let's do something that feels right. So 2013, I went to go back to get my degree. I was like, okay, if I'm gonna get a degree in something, it's gonna be something that I actually really enjoy, what I really love. So I found that Europa University had the yoga degree, so I went there. And as I'm going through the program, I'm teaching in the community. It's part of the senior class that you had to take before you graduate. You had to create a project. And my thought process around yoga had started to evolve of how can I actually leverage this? How can I start to leverage my voice through business and marketing? So that's when I decided to create that senior project, which was a website to show yoga teachers how to create a more sustainable and thriving income, to leverage their voice. So it felt like it was the right time, but I knew if I had failed previously so many times, not just even with the businesses in life, just not accomplishing my goals, that things had to change. I had to change my mindset. So I started to develop this mantra, just have faith in yourself, just have faith in yourself. I would literally say it hundreds of times a day. I came across this Facebook ad that said, create a $50,000 to $100,000 a month consulting business, a webinar. So I went on the webinar. I listened all the way to the end. They offered a breakthrough session because what they said made sense, every bit of it. And so I booked the call and, I signed up for their webinar training. It made perfect sense to me. Grow Yoga Biz, again, it wasn't just rainbows and butterflies and Care Bears and success and all that stuff. It was tough. I had to really look at my stuff in a hard way. Here's where I'm at. Here's the vision I have for my life. There's a gap. Well, events had to happen for me to become the person to accomplish this vision. And most of my life, I was a runner and a quitter. Things got tough, I ran. Things got tough, I'm out. I wanted that temporary relief. Even though it would cause me long-term suffering, I wanted that temporary relief. And so I had to be brought to the brink again and again and again and again where I was gonna quit. And I had to go through that to prove to myself that I wasn't that person anymore. And that's the hard part for people when they first start their business, is that you're gonna face some hard stuff. You're gonna have to look at yourself in the mirror. The psychology of being a business owner, that's the biggest game. When people often decide to literally go after their dreams. So again, for instance, yoga teachers, they decide, I want to do this full time, I want to do this for a living. You're going to have doubters. You're going to have people that haven't given themselves permission to go after their dreams, trying to take away from yours. And you're in a rare air when you decide to do what you love for a living. And you have to be incredibly careful about the thoughts and the people that you surround yourself by. But it's worth every ounce of anything you've ever done to go after your dream. And it takes a tremendous amount of belief. And it's hard. And I had to go through all that, just like every entrepreneur and every person has to go through the challenges and the obstacles to become the person that accomplishes their vision. And so, yeah, it can be hard at times. And that's why it's so worth it. Because the joy you experience and the life that you live, which is different from so many other people, you're living your dream. You're doing what you love. And to do what you love for a living, the joy, it's indescribable. It's magical, really.